Good day, good day, good day. How are you guys doing, family? How are you all doing today? Listen, I'm super excited you guys made it. Go ahead and drop some cities for me. Drop some cities wherever you guys are calling in from, wherever you guys are, whether you're in YouTube land, whether you're on Facebook, wherever you are, Zoom, Clubhouse. Let me know where you guys are. Let me know where you guys are. I want to know where my people is. And I always tell everybody, go ahead and invite your friends. Go ahead and invite your friends. And this is what it's about because we're here to serve, right? So go ahead and invite your friends. Make sure everybody's here to the party. That's what we like to say, right? Oh, Omaha. That's what I'm talking about. Drop some energy in that chat because that's what we do. Go ahead and get those friends on because today's call is going to be great. It's going to be great, guys. I just really got to tell you, it's going to be great. So you really don't want anyone to miss this because this is not a thing where you're going to, oh, well, I can give you the information. Well, I came to the show. Sorry you missed it, John, but I can tell you about it. Now, you want to be at the show. Does that make sense, guys? You want to be at the show, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want to miss the show. You want to be at the show because this is the time for us to really be in a space of understanding, knowledge, because we got to know what we're doing, what we're about, where we're going, right? So let me make sure you guys can see me clearly. I want to make sure everyone can see me. Yes, guys, can you see me? If you can see me clearly, go ahead and give me some thumbs up, guys. Give me some thumbs up if you can see me. Give me some thumbs up. Super excited. Listen, got a plethora of notes right now because I've been looking at a few things in my life, and I've been looking at what I believe one of the things I was called for. And I said, you know what? Since I've been doing this for quite some time now, and I'm on this journey, and this is a lifelong journey, I think it's not only a journey for me, it's a journey for everyone, because I think we all fall into this space. Whether we like it or not, we all fall into this space one time or the other. One second, there you go. We all fall into this space. So I want to make sure that everyone is ready and prepared. I got these notes together. I said, look, I got all these notes for these amazing individuals because it's really about studying. You must always study. You must constantly keep reading. You must constantly pour into yourself because you want to be able to have a great outpour. You got to have a great outpour. What does that mean? When you open up your mouth, you need to know what you're talking about. You need to know what you're talking about. Idle conversation is not necessary. So this is why I said you want to go ahead and get your people on this call because today's topic is, are you really a leader? Are you really a leader? Today's topic is, are you really a leader? So you want to grab your pen and pads, or you want to, if you're moving around and you got your notes, your notepad and your phone, that's what you want to go ahead and get, people, because it will make sense. It will make sense. So as I said to you guys, go ahead and grab it. It will make sense. You guys will understand the direction where we're going. Ask yourself that question. That's a question I would love for you guys to ask yourself. Ask yourself that question. It's a really good question. Are you really a leader? I'll give you guys a second to ponder on that. Okay? Are you really a leader? Ask yourself that question. And then what I would like you guys to do, because, we've been being really interactive on the calls, even with just your documenting and make sure you're making your notes. But I want you to, when you ask yourself that question, write it down. What does that answer for you? What does that answer mean? What does that answer look like? What does that answer look like, right? Write it down. What does that answer look like for you? Are you really a leader? I want you to write that down. I want you to deal with that. I want you to deal with that, ladies and gentlemen, because this is really true. This is really true. Now, I'm going to say something to you guys. I was writing my notes and I was looking at it and I said to myself, wow, I came across something in my studies, and then I wrote something down. I said, as I was reading, it says, you can love somebody without leading. I want you guys to hear that, right? You can love somebody without leading, but you cannot lead somebody without loving them. Ooh, that's big. I'll say it again because I want to make sure you guys get it. It says you can love somebody without leading. Because see, a whole lot of you right now will tell me, I love this one. I love that one. That's my son. That's my cousin. That's my best friend. You can love someone without leading, but you cannot lead somebody without loving them. I want you guys to ponder on that for a second. You cannot lead someone without loving them. Because, see, you got to have love to be able to lead effectively. You got to have love to be able to lead effectively. And that is why we're having this dialogue today, ladies and gentlemen. That is why we're having this dialogue. So one of the things I want to ask you guys is, as a leader or as an individual, let's back up. As an individual who stepped into a role in your life to be a provider, and once you step into a role in your life to be a provider, once you step up to the plate, you're ultimately in a leadership role. You're ultimately in a leadership role. But we're going to dialogue some of the laws in a second, because I want to make sure that you all understand where I'm going. So once you step up, you're ultimately in a leadership role. So for one, you have to exhibit humility, right? You have to exhibit humility, because when you step up into that role, you said, okay, wow, now I'm 18. Now I got my job and I want to go get my own place, and I want to get my car, or oh, I'm the mom, and what happened is dad got ill, and now I have to take on longer hours, and I got to manage the children. You step up into a leadership role, right? The leadership requires humility. Okay, I got an acronym said called HGT. HGT: humbleness, gratefulness, truthfulness. Every leader have to exhibit those three things. There's so much more that we're going to talk about, but I want you to understand HGT: humbleness, gratefulness, and truthfulness. As a leader, you must exhibit these qualities. You must exhibit these qualities, because you cannot move forward if you do not exhibit these qualities. So what I want to talk about, guys, as we go into this topic, I want to highlight one of my mentors who I've been studying for so many years, and he became a mentor through the studies and the reading. And you don't have to meet a person physically for them to be your mentor if you've been studying their work. And then my amazing wife, I remember being in another state, and that mentor was coming to the state nearby, which happens to be my home state. But we were out of town, and I wasn't feeling myself. So I figured I would be recuperating for a day or two or three. But my wife knew what the mentor meant to me, but also what the mentor meant to her, because it was her mentor as well. And she said, no, it is necessary. It is necessary for us to be at this event, to be at this meeting, so that we can connect and finally meet the mentor that we've been studying for the last 20 years. And I kid you not, it was so much power being in that space. The feeling that I had, that I thought I would be down for 3 days, ladies and gentlemen, guess what happened? That feeling left, because there was so much joy, so much positive energy in the room. It boosted my immune system, because I had so much joy in me. The adrenal glands, the energy, the adrenaline was pumping. And when that was happening, I was so into what's going on that I didn't feel like there was anything ever wrong with me. But understand the journey to that I hem and I horn. I don't want to go. Oh, I feel this way. I don't want this. But she said, once you get there and you connect, it will change your life. And that mentor happens to be John C. Maxwell. If you guys know who John Maxwell is, then you need to make sure you start studying his work. If you don't know, you need to research him, study his work. That mentor, as one of the many mentors that I have on this journey, has written so many different books. And what I want to talk about today is from the book that he wrote called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Because when we start talking about HGT, I want to make sure that all of you understand what's in your vision, what's in your path, should you decide to take it. So that's why I want you to ask yourself, are you really a leader? Are you really a leader? Because a lot of us, we want to step up into the role. We want to step up. We want to jump in, but we don't really know what we're doing. We don't really know if we can make it. So I want to make sure you guys were on the same exact page. So let's talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the concept, right? About these 21 laws that he laid down. When you start talking about, are you really a leader? Law number one, and some of you have read it to understand. You said, okay, I got this already, but see, I need you to follow where I'm coming from today. So we get on this leadership summit, we have these strategic conversations, and we're talking about how we can create change in our village, in our community, and let that be infectious to go internationally. Because change in one place affects change in another place. Some of us, we don't think that big because we believe the change that happened right in your vicinity, it's you, but you're forgetting that you are a part of a bigger system. And any change in a system creates a definite disruption. So if you're a disruptor for greatness, go ahead and put 1 in the chat. If you're a disruptor for greatness, put 1 in the chat. Wherever you guys are calling in from, if you're a disruptor for greatness, put 1 in the chat. If you're a disruptor for greatness, put 1 in the chat. And that first law is called the law of the lid. The law of the lid. The law of the lid. Now, what he said about this law is that it states that there is a lid or a limit to our potential that is determined by our leadership. A lid, right, that's on, or a limit to our potential that is determined by our leadership. Now, here's the thing about that. He stated after he said, as we grow our abilities as a leader, we automatically grow our ability to impact the world. When I read that, I said, wow. So if we grow our abilities, right, as a leader, we're able to impact the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, you hear we talking, we said impact the world. Somebody hold on impact. Somebody hold on impact. We said impact the world. What are we talking about when we said impact? What are we talking about? Impact. What does impact mean? Because you heard the ability, but what does impact mean? We're talking about impact says the action of one object coming forcibly into contact with another. That's one of the definition they gave about impact. But see, I like the second definition. See, the second definition gives detail and an opening for more understanding, because it says have a strong effect on someone or something. Have a strong effect on someone or something. Impact. How are you impacting? What impact have you made? Because you decided to step up. You decided to say, I want that position. You decided to say, nobody can talk to me. I'm my own boss. You decided to say, look, y'all just need to let me be and let me be me. You know, some of the people who say things like that. You don't allow me to be myself. Well, listen, you now stepped into leadership, because the first level, according to me and my studies and what I've witnessed, is that one must first learn how to lead themselves before they can lead any others. Come on now. If you're following me, go ahead and put 1 in the chat, guys. If you're following me, you must learn to lead yourself before you can lead others. So what impact have you made on yourself? Need you to get that. What impact have you made on yourself before you can make impact on someone or something? Come on, people. Come on. Before you can make impact on someone or something. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing, ladies and gentlemen? Now, law number 2, he states that it's the law of influence. So you had the law of the lid. That's what he talked about in this law. But then he talked about the law of influence. The law of influence. See, that's a serious law. Now, I need you guys to understand something. There is laws in every aspect, in every area of our lives. See, there's laws of the land. There's kingdom principle laws, spiritual laws that was set in place, giving universal laws. So no matter what you do and believe on the contrary, you're operating within a space of one of these laws. There's a law of average. There's a law of gravity. We all know you get on that building and you jump off, you know what's going to happen, right? Laws, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So now he's talking about the law of influence. And what does he say about the law of influence? He said that influence is the power or capacity to produce a desired result. That's what he said. Influence is the power or capacity to produce a desired result. Then he further referred to this law many times, like when he talked about it in the book. If you read that book, the book is so powerful. He referred to this law. He said he says that it is the true measure of leadership. That's what he said. He states it is the true measure of leadership. Nothing more, nothing less. Influence is what helps fulfill the goals and dreams of the leader. I need you to understand that, because without influence, ladies and gentlemen, a leader looks for ammunition, right? And to reach the destination. So you need to have influence. Influence is necessary. I need you guys to understand that. I need you to hold on to that, to understand, am I influential? Have I built myself? Do I have the ability, okay? Do I have the ability to understand the role that I have stepped into? Do I have the ability to understand that as a leader, leadership is me leading my ship? Do I understand that, and do I have the ability? Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not understand that, then you will suffer gravely as a leader. Because why? You do not know what to do, and most importantly, what not to do. So when you start talking about that, when you start talking about that impact, as I said before, in that statement of influence, I grabbed the word ammunition in there. I grabbed the word ammunition. You said a leader will look for ammunition, right? I grabbed the word ammunition, and I want to talk about something as I go into that concept of ammunition, right? I want to talk about something, right? Ammunition says, when I looked it up, it says a supply, right, or a quantity, right? They have the quantity of bullets, right? But I like the second one. What I wanted to use with ammunition, I want you guys to understand something. It says that consideration that can be used to support one's case. When you start talking about ammunition, right? It tells you that these figures provides ammunition to the argument for more resources. So when you look at a supply, it says a supply or a quantity of XYZ, right? And then it says consideration that can be used to support one's case in a debate. Ammunition, information. You have to have the supply. That means you must study. That means you must make sure that your storehouse is always filled. What does that mean? Your brain is always filled. You're open to learning so that you could always keep putting in, because the more you store up, the more you put in, then the more you can give out. But if you lack the ammunition, if you lack the substance, if you lack what is necessary, then you're empty. And there's a saying that West Indian people say, Jamaicans in the whole says, an empty barrel makes a lot of noise. Absolutely. Because if you're empty, there's no substance to you. You hit that barrel and it's just making a lot of noise. But if it's filled with something, then you're not going to get that type of noise. That means it has something to offer you. So how are you storing up an ammunition? Are you studying to show yourself approved? Are you studying to show yourself approved? Because it's extremely important for you to do that. And if you do not study to show yourself approved, ladies and gentlemen, then guess what happens? Then you will lose every time. You will lose every time. Now, I want to tell you this. I was having some dialogue earlier before the call, and then I said, wow, I'm going to hold my peace until I get on the call to speak on it. Leadership, people say, well, you're a born leader. That's what they say to some people. You're a born leader. Well, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. A leader can be developed. A leader can be developed. But what you're born with, there's an essence and a gift that is given to some that is innate. So it doesn't matter whether they're an adult or they're a child. It is evident that they have it. Those individuals question authority when they're younger because of what is given to them, because they're so open to receive, and they're so analytical, and they learn so fast. They're so creative that they will look at someone 10 times their age and still wonder, why is he or she doing this? Don't they know they should do that? Because of what was given to them, what was deposited in them. So you would say, some people say, well, hey, I gotta go look for my gift. I gotta search for my, I gotta search for my purpose. Ladies, you don't gotta search for your purpose. It's already given to you. It's already inside of you. It's just that some people get that push from earlier. So can you be developed as a leader? Absolutely. But is there some that already have that innate, indented ability and capability? Absolutely. Because we were having dialogue earlier, and my wife was just talking about some stories of her sports days. And we were just having a whole laughter about it, because her competitiveness, she was talking about how competitive she is. Literally, she's so competitive that, okay, if we're playing, this is what we need to do. This is how we should do it. This is how we should move. And she would feel, as she said, that, you know what? If they can't stand up to the task, I feel like I can play all the positions. See, some of us, we look at that and we hear that, we said, oh my God, something's wrong with you. But what you don't look at is saying that when this person is in this type of feeling and type of role, if this person is an individual that always seems to have the answer, hey guys, where do you want to go? She was talking about some of those things. No one knows. She has to make the decision. When you get to a location, no one knows what they want to do. She has to come up with the ideas. And this is from being a little child growing all the way up. So it was noticeable that there was already leadership within her. Now, what had to happen for her to become an effective leader? See, now she had to develop that gift. The same thing that you can develop. But she had to operate and learn to operate within those laws. These same laws I'm talking to you guys about. Such as she had the law of influence. As a youngster, that law of influence was powerful on her, because she was so influential in everything she did. Now, number 3, ladies and gentlemen, is the law of process. Go ahead and write this down. The law of process. The law of process. Leaders are learners. Remember that. Leaders are learners. And their capacity to develop and improve their skills distinguishes that leader from the followers. I just told you, she had to develop that skill. He says leaders are learners. Every time I turn around, we got new books. We go out, and our concept of fun at times is we're shopping for books, and then we decide to cheat with a little ice cream, depending on the day of the week it is. That's right, guys. We get it into as well. But we'll buy the books. Because why? Leaders are learners. So the law of process or the law of process, leaders are learners, and they have the capacity to develop and improve their skills, right? That they have to do that, improve their skills, distinguish leaders from followers. That's how you now become distinguished from those that are a follower. See, the learning process is ongoing. That's what it is when it comes down to leadership. The learning process is ongoing. Some of us, we said, I'm good. I got this. I've been doing this for 20 years. I smile every time I hear things like that. I got this. I've been doing this for this amount of time. You don't got anything. Because if you heard what came out of your mouth, then you will understand that you're not operating in humility. You're not operating in gratefulness, because as a leader, you will understand that, guess what? You're always learning, ladies and gentlemen. You are always learning. The learning process is ongoing because you have to develop the results of self-discipline and perseverance. It allows you to develop the results of self-discipline and perseverance. Now, what do you guys know about perseverance, ladies and gentlemen? Look at that word, perseverance. Look at it. You have to develop self-discipline and perseverance. Persistence in doing something despite difficulties or the delay of achieving success. This is so good. I want to make sure that you guys are getting this. Perseverance. I want to hold on to perseverance in that, right? I want to hold on to perseverance in that. That's it. Persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Some of y'all, we need to stay right here for a second. We need to stay right here for a second, because we have what we call our time. We have our time. It didn't happen. I put 5 years on this, or I put 1 month on this. But did you track the journey? Did you stop, go, pause, not sure, well, got busy. Oh my gosh, we had an issue going on. I took a break. It says perseverance, ladies and gentlemen. Persistence. That's what it means. In doing something, it doesn't matter how difficult it is or how delayed in achieving the success seem to be for you at the current time. Because see, what you don't understand is that you're operating in laws. And if you're operating in laws, ladies and gentlemen, the work you're putting in is bringing that which you seek closest to you. The work that you're putting in is bringing that which you seek closer to you, because it's called perseverance, because it's called persistence. And because you're persistent, ladies and gentlemen, then you're doing that which is difficult. And anything that is done in difficulty will bring forth greatness, because it's being done through a time that you're stretching yourself. Somebody type stretch. Type stretch for me. Somebody type stretch for me. Because you got to stretch yourself. You got to persevere. You got to stretch yourself, because the success is already done. You're the one that's being caught up in the difficulty. You're the one that, because the storm came, you now decide that you want to grab the umbrella and sit still. You don't grab the umbrella and sit still. The storm is here. The storm is here. I'm going to say it again. The storm is here. You got 2 feet. What is wrong with you? You don't sit down. Oh, I'm going to just sit down in this umbrella and wait till it passes. Ooh. Oh, you don't want what that storm got for you. So you better persevere. The storm is here, but we're going to push. It's thundering. We're going to push. It's hailing. We're going to push. Lightning is hitting trees. We're going to push. Man, they dropped down a tornado and houses are flying. We're going to push, because if I sit still, then guess what? I will bring destruction to self. But if I move, if I keep pushing one by one, by one, by one, the greatness that is already written, that is already done, saying that leadership is mine, that I have a grace because there's people waiting for me. I don't even know that they're waiting for me, but they're waiting for me because I'm that mustard seed. I'm that tree planted, rooted by the water and being nourished. So by the time I rise up, my fruits is ready to be picked. Woo! Come on, somebody. My fruits is ready to be picked. But I didn't know this when I was just a little seed. See, I didn't understand this. I was wondering why it's taking so long in this germination process. Persistence, perseverance didn't matter. Through difficulty, it must happen, ladies and gentlemen. It must go down. You cannot leave out without it. That is the way it must be. There is no shortcut to this road. The law of process. You must go through the process. The process is the process. There is no, not even whether you like it or not. It is just the process. At any level that you will claim to achieve, there must be a process, ladies and gentlemen. There must be a process. See, and along the process, law number 4, he talked about the law of navigation. Y'all write it down. The law of navigation. The law of navigation. The law of navigation. Right? The law of navigation. What he said is that, and it's funny because it just sits so right with me. He said that anyone can steer a ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. See that? Anyone can steer a ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. Now, all of you understand this. All of you. But if you're having trial with that, if that's still, what does he mean? It takes a leader to chart the course. It's like you can say, well, my son is 15 and he's already 5'9". I can put him behind the wheel of the car because he's been driving for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and I'll put him on the major highways. And I'm just telling him we're headed into the city. We live 45 minutes outside the city. He can jump behind that wheel, drive in part to the regular portion of the neighborhood. Then you're going to have a problem when he has to go on the highway. Because see, here's the thing. He cannot chart the course because the kid does not know. He do not know what he's about to do. There's nothing outside of the fact that I'm big-bodied and I believe I can drive. But where am I really going? How am I going to navigate along the way? How effective am I going to be when I get on this 6-lane highway and then I see lights coming? When I see honking of horns and people just driving erratic? How do I handle it? Because did I chart a course and understand that on that course, I may have to make some way to move? Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. The law of navigation, okay? The law of navigation. What is it doing, right? You got to understand where you're going when you start talking about the law of navigation. See, what it does, it holds true for individuals, the leaders, and the leadership team. When you start talking about the law of navigation, charting the course, charting it carefully. You got to chart a course carefully, seeing where they want to go as a leader. Where do you want to go as a leader? Where does the people around you that are falling as followers to your call, where do they want to go? Because see, as a leader, you also got to be a follower. Ooh, but we're going to get down into that a little bit further later. I'm going to jump because I know time is always moving with us. Number 5, write it down. The law of addition. The law of addition, write it down. The law of addition. We talked about this law. I'm deciphering these laws to ask yourself that question. Am I really a leader? Am I really a leader? The law of addition. Write it down, guys. See, the law of addition, what that does, it focuses on advancing others. Addition, add, not subtract. Add, not subtract. That law of addition focus on advancing others, not ourselves. Remember, I just told you about a leader? I just said how that leader needs to be able to help others, right? The law of addition allows you to advance others and not focus on yourself. See, leadership is an act of service to others. And the true leader, ladies and gentlemen, the true leader focuses on creating value for others. So ask yourself that question. What value have I created for anyone else? What value do I bring? What value do I give? Because if I'm going to serve, that means there's individuals that needs to be served, and I need to give them the information. I'm trying to expand. When an organization starts and they're trying to scale their business, ladies and gentlemen, it's that law of addition that's happening. When they said, I'm opening another super center, another super store, oh, another clothing line, another clothing store, we're literally just scaling, we're opening. It's that law of addition at work. But that leader has to understand that it's not about self-serving, but it's about serving others so that they can see their capacity of growth. If you're with me, type with me. If you're with me, type with me. If you're with me, type with me, ladies and gentlemen. See, true leaders ask how I can serve. That's what true leaders do. They ask how I can serve because they're focused on service. It's not so much about what's in it for me. Get that? It's not so much about what's in it for me, ladies and gentlemen. It's how can I serve? Am I serving effectively? How can I serve? Am I serving where people will be able to see success? Am I serving the way that I need to? I need you guys to understand that. Now look at that, look at that word. When we start talking about focus, right? As a leader, you must be focused. What is your focus? If the leader focuses on something, you got to focus on the vision. Ladies and gentlemen, see, there's so many types of vision. There's so many types of vision. But let me give you two that can come to mind right now. See, there is the vision, it comes to you, but it's the personal vision. It comes to you, but must be executed by just a few that will be selected along the way when you are moving in that. Now, let me explain something to you. Your purpose is already in you. So we're going to teach on that on one of the summit soon. So when you find the purpose, when the purpose comes out, you make way for the vision. The purpose makes way for the vision. The vision opens the door to tunnel vision. And those that are to be a part of it will be like puzzles that will come. But it might just be a small group because you may just have that as a personal vision. Then there's a corporate vision. When I talked about focus and I talked about the law of addition, we're talking about the law of addition. A corporate vision using ministries and big corporation, then the pastor may get the vision, but then it takes a body to make the vision come through. The corporation, CEO, the founder has the vision, but it took the body of people to make it happen. If you understand, type understand, because I don't want to lose you. If you understand, type understand. If you understand, type understand. So you have to focus. So what it says to focus, the center of interest. That leader needs to be focused on the vision. That leader needs to be focused. You're doing the law of addition, so you're scaling, but the leader has to be focused on the vision. He now needs to serve. I need to serve others. The sense of interest or activity. You have to serve others so that they can see the success. Because it's not about you. It's about the service you're providing. It's about the service you're providing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure that you guys are with me today because, see, it is so key for you guys to understand where we are. It is so key for you to understand that it's necessary when you say that you're stepping into a role, or you might not even have said it, but you didn't realize your actions did. Because we tend to believe it's only need to be said from our mouth until we step into a role. But your actions speak it. Your actions speak it. Now I'll give you one more because there's so many. So I would definitely have to continue this summit for that. But I want to tell you this, the law of solid ground. The law of solid, when you did the law of addition, then you have the law of solid ground. You talked about the law of solid ground. Solid ground means solid character. That's what ground is. Solid. Boom. Solid ground. Solid character. Living with what? One, integrity, authenticity, and discipline. Write it down, ladies and gentlemen. Solid ground means solid character. Living with integrity, authenticity, and discipline. That is extremely important. That is extremely important. See, trust, which you should write and highlight, trust is the foundation of leadership. Trust is the foundation of leadership. You know, as I hear that, it brings so much to mind. Trust is the foundation of leadership. I want y'all to hold on to that because that's where we're going to just veer off into as we move into the end of this call, this leadership summit. Trust is the foundation of leadership. You guys should highlight it. You should put it bold. If I am you, I would write it out bold. I would print it out bold and I would make copies. I'll put that on my fridge. Put that by my desk. I'll put it by my bed nightstand. I'll have one in the car. I'll make a little cue card and have that in my wallet. Trust is the foundation of leadership. Trust. That's a powerful word. Trust. I want you guys to hold on to that. Because, see, without trust, you have nothing. Without trust, ladies and gentlemen, you have nothing. You must have trust. If trust is broken, then you have problems. Everything goes downhill. If trust is broken, then you have problems and everything goes downhill. It is the foundation of leadership. It has to be, listen, it is earned. Trust is earned. So something that you earn, if what you did to earn it, you are a chameleon or you shook and destroyed that, then the trust and the bond is broken. See, character is the source of trust. Ooh, come on, people. Your characteristic and your character is the source of trust. That is extremely important for you to understand and for you to know. Character is the source of trust. So if trust, right? If trust, ladies and gentlemen, is the foundation of leadership, then you have to have character. You have to have character because that's the source of trust. See, we build our character by being scrupulously honest. You heard that? Scrupulously. Totally. Wholeheartedly. We build our character by being wholeheartedly honest. Doesn't matter what it's going to bring to you. But when you are honest, when they use the terminology, honesty is the best policy, ladies and gentlemen, it is so deep for you to understand. If you're going to build an empire, or if you're going to build the people around you, if you're going to build your home. So let's use that concept because some of us, we might be hearing this and you're probably still sitting there saying, so where's he going with this? What does all of this have to do with me? Well, let's look at it from a different perspective. If we're talking about a home has a blueprint, and the home is the first ministry. So there must be a man, a woman, and then the children. But above the man is his creator. Trust must be the foundation in that core. If we move from the home, the same principle applies when we go into business, but now we just understand that now we have turned, we're dealing with business acumen now, but the same principle applies because now instead of the man being the individual now here in his home, now you have the founder, the CEO, and there is the steps as it comes down. And as we have the children in the home, you have the employees of the workplace. Trust, character being the source of it, must be developed. You must have it. You must be wholeheartedly honest. That's how you build those characteristics. So if you're saying to yourself, how does this have to do with me? It has everything to do with you. Because as you step up, as you arise in the morning, the minute you became an adult, the minute you stepped into the space of being over the age of 18, and you said, I want to take leadership to myself. I want to take ownership. I want to do me. You can't stop me. I want to have my own car. I want to go where I want to go. You stepped into a role of leadership. So I'm asking you, are you really a leader? Because when you stepped into that role, do you understand the foundation and the principles of leadership? Do you understand that there's going to be things that will come your way? Are you ready for the rocks that will be thrown at you? Are you ready for the debris coming? Are you able to dodge, bob, and weave? Because there was knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you should have learned. But maybe you're not, because maybe you jumped up and you're too early like a spring chicken. And you say, because I'm ready. You don't know what you're talking about, old man. But because you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the wisdom, when you run, you bump into a wall. Because guess what? You lack the characteristics. You were just hype and ready to move without charting the course. You're just hype and ready to move without seeking understanding. You're just hype and ready to move that in all things you must seek wisdom. Why? Because if you step into a role, you need to understand the role. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. See, I'm taking leadership from a different perspective today. When you stepped into a role, you need to understand the role. So if you didn't know that role was leadership, well, you just know that I'm on my own now. I'm my grown man thing. Well, learn about what that means to be your grown man thing. I'm on my own thing. Now I'm in college and I'm on the dorm and I can do me. Learn what that means, ladies and gentlemen. Because when you understand the principles, then you can use those principles to open doors. Not for yourself, for others, because it would be automatic that they will open for you, because you will understand the principle of serving. You will understand the laws. That is what I want to impart in you all today. That is what he was talking about when he talked about these laws. See, some people may just hear it. They read it. I read the book. I got it. Well, I've been reading the book for over 10 years. So what do you mean I've read the book? How many of us, by a show of putting 10 in the chat, you watch the movie, but then when you watched it the second or third time, you see some things that you never saw before? If you're with me, put 10 in the chat. It's the same thing with reading. Because what happens is that every time you read, there's something else that you see that comes to you. There's a revelation knowledge in the wording. Because why? Why is there a revelation knowledge? See, people, when they hear revelation knowledge, they think revelation, oh, here he's go. He's talking about that church thing. No, revelation knowledge simply means, ladies and gentlemen, that a revelation came through your development of self, your intellect that has been being developed, that is compounding on knowledge upon knowledge, so your understanding of the knowledge is better. So that's what that revelation knowledge means, because now you're understanding and now you're wiser. So that revelation knowledge comes, wow, I didn't understand this 4 years ago when I read this. Wow, this is powerful. This is big. That, ladies and gentlemen, That is extremely important. So I want you to ask yourself as you move on through this week, am I really a leader? And if you believe and you know in your core that you're a learner and that you're a student and that you will always remain a student, then, ladies and gentlemen, you will know that you're on your way. And if you decide that, look, this is where I am and I'm on my way, then I want y'all to come join me so I can give y'all some more information, so I can help you guys to take it to another level. Because I always continue to learn, my team continue to learn, and we are literally always learning. I can learn from a child. I can learn from an elder person. I can learn from a peer. I'm never too big, because why? I'm just humble with this journey, because I'm just being used just like all of you. So if you found that that is you, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to connect with us. I want you guys to mark it on your calendar. Mark it on your calendar, ladies and gentlemen, December 1st through the 7th. Mark it on your calendar, because it's necessary for you to put yourself in a position and surround yourself with success right here. Because you hear the word success. I know some of you probably thinking this right here, because this comes very easy. It's done right here. Success. Be in the spectrum of success principles, people that's elevated. December 1st through the 7th. Dominican Republic, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Dominican Republic. December 1st through the 7th. You definitely want to be connecting with Mr. Boston, Paige and Boston, my amazing wife, and the rest of the team, so we can help to scale what you've been learning, your mind, where you're going. So for information, guys, just go ahead and shoot me a message. Go ahead. The number, the team should be putting it there in the chat. Go ahead and reach out to us so we can give you further information, because I'm telling you right now, if you are trying to create a wave, a ripple, if you're a disruptor, an anomaly in this system so that you can create and serve and help others create, then don't miss the opportunity. Because you know what we do? We do all things that has nothing to do with growth, and we're okay with that. But the minute we hear about growth, the minute we hear about expanding, the minute we hear about being stretched, we grab that umbrella. Remember I said in the storm, we grab that umbrella and we want to sit still. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to die in the storm. Greatness is for everyone. So as you guys take off this week, let it be that your portion is greatness. Your blessings has already arrived. Walk into it, because you've opened up your mind to be a student, and you understood that leadership requires you being a learner. Leadership requires you serving others, not self. Leadership requires you having humility. So as you move into this week, let that be your portion. And everything that comes in contact with you will be infected by the greatness that you're carrying. And that infection will breed more greatness. And that greatness will contaminate and overflow, that there will be people with energy of joy, power, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and interpretation of where they're going. So much love for you guys. I'm so amazed that you all joined us today. Thank you guys for joining the Leadership Summit. I'm fired up. Again, I will see you guys December 1st through the 7th. Mark it on your calendar. Reach out to us, Dominican Republic. It's going to be a phenomenal event. It's a business and branding. So it's so much information on how to scale, how to intellectually grow in a space in leadership, and how to dominate whichever field you're in, so that you can be ready for all things coming at you in this economical infrastructure meltdown that is going on. So go ahead and reach out to Mr. Boston. Again, love you guys. Have an amazing week. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.